With me now is assistant coach Ross Yates. Ross, you've been this is your first year at the Espoir level as a coach. Tell me how do you see this level and what it does for the players and the program and you know the Espoir program, and how do you compare that to other things you've been exposed to? Not the pros, obviously, it'd be different, but
it's well, it's definitely a step up from AA level that I've witnessed my two kids playing in over the years. It's a little more serious, a little more ice time, a little more off-ice development, where the kids are at the age where they really need that if they want to progress to the next level. It's been a fun year, challenging at times. Having worked with pros for the last 16 years and coming here with 15-year-olds, obviously it's a little bit of an adjustment.
We played a pretty good hockey team yesterday, you know, against Laval. What did we do yesterday to be successful against them?
I thought our defense, we only had 5 of them. I thought they played a pretty good game. We kept it simple. The defense were told no pinching unless they can get the puck in the offensive and the neutral zone, and I think we only gave up 1 odd man rush as a result of a pinch. So hopefully they'll keep that in their minds as we go forward here. But it was a good game where both teams played pretty stingy defensively. There weren't too many scoring chances at either end, and I thought the guys did a good job. It was nice to finally get our first shot.
Okay. Today we're playing against a team we've had a little bit of success with. Last game I think we maybe took them a little bit too lightly. What do you think we have to do today to be successful with these guys?
I think it doesn't matter who you're playing in this league. If you don't come to play, you probably won't win. So hopefully the boys are up for the challenge. They're not underestimating the opponent, and but definitely if we play our game, we should have no problem today.
Okay, thanks Ross. Have a good game. With me now is Jason Dorrington, assistant coach of the Lac Saint Louis Tigers. Jason, Montreal-Laval weekend. The Patriots yesterday, the Royals today.
Yep.
What did we do to be successful against the Patriots yesterday? They're a pretty good hockey team, and they have had their way with us a couple of times this year. So how did things turn out different?
We finally decided to keep things simple. We just did what we have to do in the defensive zone. We got pucks out, no turnovers. Well, turnovers, but we limited the number of turnovers. Our defense didn't get caught in the offensive zone or the neutral zone. We got pucks deep. We worked. We got our chances. Took us a while to put the puck in the net. A minute left in the game, but still got the win, and we worked hard. It's 2 games in a row now. We give full game efforts, so it's looking good.
Do you think, I do, okay, so we'll preface what I'm going to ask you with the fact that I already think this is the case. Do you think it was so cold yesterday that they had to focus in on what they were doing because that rink is freezing cold?
I think they were focused before the game. We had a good warm up. I think the cold factor. I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying. The cold helped them focus.
Okay. Today we're playing against the Royal, the weak sister of the 2 Laval teams. We had our way with them a couple of times this season. Last time we played them, different story. 4-3 victory. Buzzer rings a little early on them, and you know they kind of feel that they were taking it to us at the end of the game. What do we need to do to be successful with them?
Not take them lightly. Last time we took them lightly. We were joking around before the game. We thought it was in the bag before it actually happened. And like Ross said before, it's a league where if you don't show up, any team can beat any team on any day. You have to show up to the hockey.
Okay. Now, on Tuesday, are you guys going to start, giving scoring lessons to a select number of players that we have?
Alex Pina, whichever Yates. I think I'll work on it. I'll try to work on it. No, but it's great to see that they're actually. The puck's not going in, but it's great to see that they're getting numerous scoring chances every game.
Yeah, that's the big positive, is that they're in position, they're in scoring position, and maybe hold a little second longer or release a little second earlier, or they're coming close.
Absolutely.
So those are positive things for sure. Okay, you realize this is where we are in the season. This is our last home game here. We have one other home game. It's in Beaconsfield on March 20th.
I don't know about that one.
So
9 in the morning.
9 in the morning.
Trying to kill me.
Yeah. Well, it's all about you, Jay. That's what we look at the schedule and say, okay, how can we mess him up? right? Okay, so what do you think? Have we made the progress at this point that we should have been making, you know, as a team from beginning to where we are now?
Well, at the start of the season, we took off on a big high. I expected us to be a little more progress this year, but we had a few internal problems. But I think on the whole, we had a good year. We're starting to play better hockey again now. We had in the middle, we had a period of time where I think we found it rough. It wasn't going as well as we had planned, but on the whole, I think we've progressed well. We've improvement from a lot of the guys.
And one of the things that I like, this is my 9th year with the Tigers, so you know, I have a little bit more insight with regards to you know, how we perform through beginning to end, because it kind of replicates itself every year.
Yeah.
And what we find is, because we're one of the only, probably besides the Lions, if you include them in this, well, we're one of the only programs where people finish their full day of school and then they come to practice, and that's a big drain.
Yeah.
And no, there are other programs where they do a full day of school, okay, but ours are all private school for the most part, so the academic requirements are much more demanding. The homework is much more demanding. The commute that they do into the city, and you know, they get up at 6 so they can get it to the train at 7 or 7:15, whatever it is. I mean, it really impacts. So we typically get off to a good start because everybody's rested and had a good summer, and our preseason work that we do with our team is a little bit, I think, different than everybody else. I mean, we work them hard. You know, there's a lot of on-ice session. The dry land session gets them going, and then all of a sudden, you know, we get into a maintenance mode as opposed to a development mode at the beginning, and all these things kind of impact. But you know, the plateau, it happens. And I think this year with the coaching change, there was an adjustment to coaching styles, which was something. Not that I want to provide a world of excuses.
Yeah.
And I think when Carl arrived, you know, everybody kind of had their role changed a little bit, because now we had a new top 6 forward, and and he was moving. You know, his presence kind of moved people around a little bit.
Brought a different dimension to our offense.
Right, and then for a while, I think they were waiting for him to do everything, and you know, anyway. So you know, I think, you know, from what I've noticed, the game against the Concurrent, I thought, wow, you know, we do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we knew what the benchmark was of what we could do, and then we had a little bit of a letdown, and then you know, the game against the Pionnier, we came back and we said, okay, this is the benchmark. And then I guess yesterday, which, you know, from what I saw through the
well,
video,
it happens. It happens at all levels. If you look at even the pros, it happens. The Flyers lost to the Senators yesterday. It happens at all levels where teams are gonna not have their best game.
That's because the Senators are better now. They got rid of all the guys that shouldn't be playing in the league. So, especially that number 27.
72?
Number 72, yeah. Okay, Jay, have a good game today.
Thanks.
If you see Coach Drolet, send him by with it.